Hello, good afternoon. This is Rob Koster for CardGameExpert.com, and today I am playing 4-color Bogles. Yeah, it's a thing apparently. This came from the mind of Nakagawa Natsuki. I don't know who that is, but they got a top 4 in a Japanese tournament, so good for them. With this, as I said, 4-color Bogles. We have the usual suspects: Glade Cover Scout, Slippery Bogle, and Core Spirit Dancer, and then we get into some funky stuff. We have Rancors, and we have Curious Obsession, which is all fine. Arcane Flight is just Griffspoon in blue, that's all fine, and Danny with Ethereal Armor. We also have Force of Negation. Yeah, this is a Bogles deck with main deck Force of Negation. And we have Staggering Insight, and for those of you who have been watching the screen, we also have red cards. We have a Storm Herald. When Storm Herald enters the battlefield, return any number of aura cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Attach the creatures you control. So what happens is all my Bogles get killed. This comes into play. All your enchantments come back, attached to it, and this kills them. Then we have Fling. I don't know why, but we have Fling, and I'm totally fine with that. This seems so funny. So that's the main board. We are just gonna try and fling some people. Sideboard, we have the usual suspects: Leyline, Pithing Needle, Grafdigger's Cage, Brave, Blood Moon, Damping Sphere, Ceremonious Rejection, Firespout, Force of Vigor. As always, this video is being sponsored by MANATRADERS. Check the link in the description down below for more information. Use coupon code NuclearRabbit. After that, just like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, you also can rent more cards now. They improved the rental services. With that being said, let's get to the games. So for our first hand, we have no Bogle on turn 1, so definitely a mulligan. Here we don't have the mana to cast it, so we're going down to 5. We have a Slippery Bogle of a Breeding Pool, but it doesn't matter. They revealed an Obosh, and this matchup is basically a buy. The mono-red matchup for this deck is so insanely good that it's absolutely ridiculous. If you know on your FNM that like 10 people are playing the red deck, play Bogles. You will cash it. It's just that easy. Like, if I draw any sort of life gain, I can't lose anymore. And we're playing like 6 sources or 7 sources of life gain in the main. We draw the second land on turn 3, which is fine. We get to play our Core Spirit Dancer after drawing a card with a Curious Obsession. They play Mono-Red Swift Spear and they Flame Slash the Core Spirit Dancer. Apparently that's a thing. So their board is 2 Monastery Swift Spear and a Bowmat Courier. Just casually mentioning it. Totally not relevant for the next game at all. Anyway, they have 3 1-drops there. I play another Bogle. And at this point, I'm kind of dead unless I draw some life gain. Which is kind of insane because, well, this matchup, as I said, is really good. But so this is a really dangerous board. They also discarded the Blood Moon. But we draw Daybreak Coronet, so nothing mattered. And we win. Yay! Yay, Modern. Yay! And now we have an 8-8 lifelinker. And now we have a 9-9 lifelink. Oh no, it's a 10-10 lifelinker even. With Flying, First Strike, Vigilance. All of those things. It's a huge one. So I'm just gonna slap their face with my Bogle. And they are going to die because of it. So they're just firebolting, trying to trigger some stuff, but nothing they can do can beat me at this point. So we're gonna go ahead and do some block skis over here. And they sacrifice a Bowman Courier and then they concede the game. Because this matchup is a buy if you draw the life game. We ward out a Fling and some Core Spirit Dancers, mostly because the other stuff is better. That's just all. And to make it matters even greater, we have Leyline. So remember how I said they had double Monastery Swift Spear and the Bowman Courier? They're playing a bloody Blast Zone on turn 1. Like, what the hell? And I almost swore there, but I should not be doing that. Their Monastery Swift Spear Blast Zone deck, which is a thing? Like, why? What? Why? Why is that a thing? Anyway, they're still going to very easily lose to us. We have a 4-2. And we're just beating their face in at this point. They pillage us like, yeah, sure, man, go have fun with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill you. So we play a Staggering Insight. We gain a bunch of life. We draw a bunch of cards. And they pop the Blast Zone. So their board dies as well. Because, what is this? Why is there a Monastery Swift Blast Zone deck? Anyway, we play the Storm Herald and we get our enchantments back. So we get to draw 2 cards, gain a bunch of life. But they concede instead. So we have a Bogle and a land, so we're keeping this. They play Polluted Delta, we Rancor it up, then we Hyena Umbra it up. And we start swinging in. It's a 4-2. Then they spreading sees us, thinking like, oh, they're Bogles, so we need to keep them off of green, because that's what you do with a regular Bogles deck. But not with this one. We're mostly white-blue. Which the green, I didn't realize this at first, until after I played the first league. But the green is mostly the splash. It's so weird. Anyway, yeah, Lifelinker coming in for some cards. They're on like Blue Moon or something, I think. They have not played a relevant spell so far, except for Spreading Seas, so yeah. Yeah, we're just drawing some cards. This deck draws so many cards. It's unreal. It's so much fun. Core Spirit Dancer for us, but they end up lightning bolting it, I believe. Oh no, they go for a Madcap Experiment, and this game gets really funky, really fast from here. So they have a Platinum Empyrean in play, and that says your life total can change. We, however, have 2 Fling in the deck. So what my plan here is now to make a Boggle so big that I can fling it at the Platinum Empyrean. To do that, I need to draw my flings. I also need to draw the Force of Negation, so I need to draw a lot of cards for this one. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. So I have a 14-14 that draws me a card when it connects. And I kind of accidentally suicide the Core Spirit Dancer here, so that's kind of an oopsie poopsie for me. So bye bye Core Spirit. And they Madcap Experiment again, and now they have 2 Platinum Empyreans. So now I need to draw both the flings. And yeah, both the flings, and I need to make 2 very big Bogles extra. So yeah, let's get building. So we end up at this board state where I have 169 life. Nice. And I'm just drawing cards off the deck. Yeah, this is a game. For those of you wondering why they aren't sacking the Scalding Tarn, you can pay life with a Platinum Empyrean in play. So we find our first fling, and we end up here on 430 life with 2 Force of Negations, and we draw the second Force of Negation here. We have the first fling. We have 4 cards in deck, and one of them is the fling we need. So I kind of want to draw it, but alas, it's the last card. The second fling we need is the last card. You can actually see my cursor going over like, where is it? But it's the actual last card. So now I have a 57-55 Bogle, which is nice. And end of turn, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, fling my other Bogle, my small Bogle. It's only 8-6 after all. I'm gonna go ahead and sling that at the Platinum Empyrean, getting my Rancor back because we need the value. This game is so nuts. This game lasted almost 30 minutes, by the way. It was great. I had so much fun with this one. They were like attacking with the Platinum Empyreans and stuff, and I was like, I really don't care. I'm gaining 40 life a turn. I don't care. Yeah, they counter, and yeah, this is just the most normal Boggle games of all time. So I'm gonna go ahead and Force of Negation my opponent's Cryptic Command targeting my fling. This is just, what is this? This is great, but why? So our fling actually resolves, and their Platinum Empyrean dies. So that's 1 down, 1 to go. Yeah, we have a second fling. As I already mentioned, it's the last card. I put it back, I believe, or something, but I shuffled my deck a ton, so it's just quite random. Slippery Bogle is going to go ahead and get flung at the Platinum Empyrean, and if they don't have the counter, we win, and if they only have 1 counter, we win as well, so this is quite great. So yeah, fling on the stack. My opponent took a long time to respond to this. They must be like, oh my god, what in the actual hell is going on? So they Force of Negation, I force back, because that's what you do with a Boggles deck after all. That's like, yeah, obviously you're forcing back with your Boggles deck. So yeah, yeah. Then the fling gets Aether Gusted, and now we lose because I don't have a Boggle to fling at them anymore. Not because I'm out of cards, because I know the Aether Gust will go back in my deck, and then I can just redraw it. I just don't have the enchantments to make a big enough Boggle anymore. So for game 3, we have a Slippery Bogle again. And this time I actually sideboarded, because now I know what they're playing, so that's nice. Because we didn't sideboard for game 2, so they remanned our stuff, we're just attacking in. This is an opt of Desperate. If your opponent doesn't opt like this in response to like a 2-mana spell that could be really annoying for them, they have nothing. They just have nothing, and you are going to win the game most of the time. So if you ever want to smell Desperation, this is what it looks like. Opt into nothing, Snapcast a Mage for no value. This is what Desperation looks like. Also, we draw 3 Daybreak Coronet with a Beating Pool in place, so that's nice. You know, just nice. The fetching with this deck is actually really difficult. I was quite amazed at that. And then they play a Tamio the Moon Sage, because apparently that's a modern legal card. I had honestly forgotten this card even existed. I haven't seen it in like 10 years or something. Like, what set is that? I've seen restored, I believe, like the mono white draft set or something. So we have a ethereal armor, and then they're dead. So, like, unless they have Force of Negation, they just die on the spot here. And, well, I'm gonna go ahead and guess they don't, because they concede. So that's that. So, for match number 3, we play a Slippery Boggle. We equip some cards, but they revealed an Obosh. So we are going to win this one. That's just how this works. Like, if they reveal an Obosh, you're like 99% to win the match. So we draw some cards. Our 2/2 goes in. We slap them with our Boggle. We even have Force of Negation backup, so that's kinda nuts. They Lightning Bolt our face, which is fine. It's just another very desperate move. Then they Spike Field Hazard us, and I was going to counter it at first, then I realized it's for light up the stage. So I'm just gonna go ahead and counter the light up the stage, because, well, F that. And then they play a Bone Crusher Giant, but my Bogle is much bigger than yours, so yeah, no, bye. Core Spirit Dancer out, no Fire Spout this time, because they played some bigger creatures and some other spells. So they reveal Obosh again, we mulligan a bunch. They play a Monastery Swift Spear, but I don't really care, because this matchup is a bye. That's just all this is, it's a bye. So they light up the stage for 2 Soulscar Mages, which they can't play because they don't have any lands. And then we Ethereal Armor our Hexproof dude, and yeah, I believe that's all she wrote. I don't think they played on. Yeah, they just conceded. So next match, we are 3-0 by the way. Just do realize that we are 3-0 with this 4-color, what I actually thought was to be a dumpster fire. So I'm very happy with that. I'm like actually amazed. The Bogle goes in, we slap their face in with our big Bogle, and we draw some cards for it. They play a Maze Mind Tomb, so this is all fine and dandy. We have a 9/7, first strike trample, draw 2 cards, hexproof dude, and they get a Scry. Like, this feels like fair, right? This is just fine. We need to draw more cards and get more value, so I play the Core Spirit Dancer first, and now my 18-16 is gonna slap their boys all the way back to the yard. And that's game, so bye. Yay, Bogles. We sideboard a bunch of cards. Nothing that really matters. We just need to beat Chalice, so that's all fine. We play a Bogle. That's just kind of the standard fare for this deck. We draw some cards. We lifelink a bunch. They play a Thought-Knot Seer, and I was actually really curious what they were going to take here. I was thinking they would take the Daybreak Coronet, but they end up taking the Ethereal Armor, and so yeah, I just decide to Daybreak Coronet, get some life gain going, get some cards going. But yeah, this kind of was something I was scared of. They have an all this does. Should this deck play Stubborn Denial? I could see playing red, or not playing red, and then just playing like a bunch of Stubborn Denial. Just be like 6 counterspell Boggles or something. That would be so funny. So yeah, Thought-Knot Seer comes in, bashes our face in. We play a Slippery Boggle, then the Glade Cover Scout. They play a Karn Great Creator, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I can beat most things, but you know what I can't beat? A Sundering Titan, so bye-bye. I just don't have any lands. I have 2 1/1s against their 7, 10, and 4/4. We bring in a Pithing Needle because I totally had forgotten about Karn. So yeah, Expedition map for them. I don't care. Always yes to Slippery Bogle. Go ahead, draw some cards. I mean, this deck really brings all the cards to the yard. It's great because yeah, this is just milkshaking it up over here. Core Spirit Dancer again, just drawing more cards, and now 7/5 first strike lifelink trample. I can't read it that fast. Happens. Anyway, they play a Karn Great Creator while they're at 6, and then they get a artifact from their deck, and it's a Ensnaring Bridge, and I'm just gonna go ahead and play Force of Vigor, because why would you not play all the forces in the Boggles deck? Even though I think the mana in this deck is quite horrible, like the 4-color mana is way too much ass. This deck is very well built. This is way better. I actually thought this was going to be a giant dumpster fire, but it is doing really well. So we're off to the finals. We are 4-0. So for the finals, we have a 7-card hand against Ad Nauseam, which is not great. Ad Nauseam is a really bad matchup for this deck, because they have Diffraction, Unlife to gain some life. We perfectly draw the Force of Negation the turn after they play Diffraction, Unlife. That's just how this works, right? So we actually get to go at them for, what is this, 10? Yeah, 10 damage. They go to 5. And then their Lotus Bloom comes off suspend. And they play a Thassa's Oracle. And then they go ahead and play a Spoils of the Vault. And I actually Force of Negation this. And I figured, they need to have a second one. But yeah, they, do. We lose anyway, which kind of sucks, but it happens. It's our best shot, so. Yeah, this matchup just absolutely atrocious. So what happens now is Spoils of Default exiles the deck because they name a card that isn't in it. They go to -44 but don't die because of Fraction on life. And then the Tesla's Oracle trigger happens. So for the second game, I decide to take a very big gamble and lock both of us out here with the Blood Moon in a second. As they just go Serum Visions. And I'm like, okay, maybe, yeah, I draw some enchantments that I can cast. But what I should have done here, by the way, instead of getting the Temple Garden, I should have gotten a Plains here. Because then I had white and blue and I could have cast way more enchantments in my deck. So I just started attacking him, but it doesn't matter. It's turn 7 before we draw our first enchantment. Like, this is insane. We took 4 turns without drawing an enchantment. They had Lotus Bloom suspended, Planted Prism coming down. Like, they have every color of mana they could ever need. They're just missing on the combo, which is kind of lucky for us. But we finally get our enchantment going, and then we just draw more lands and cause Spirit Dance. So yeah, the Bogles deck just kind of fading to itself here pretty badly. They Slaughter Pact or cause Spirit Dancer and it dies and goes away. Yeah, bunch of Lotus Blooms, and they don't care about the Blood Moon at all anymore. And we're completely locked out as we finally draw something that we can play here in a Slippery Bogle. Then they Tossies us and they take the Rancor because, well, it's the only card that might even matter at this point. But yeah, we are very far behind. We lost to our own Blood Moon here for sure. And then they start the Simian Spirit Guide beat down. And it's like, yeah, this game is over. So GG's. Too bad on the 5-0. But we got 4-1, which is great. GG's. So, after playing those games, there's only one thing that I can say about this deck. This deck is absolutely hilarious. This is such a mess. It's great. I love this deck. This is absolutely amazing. I had so much fun playing this. Yeah, the metagame right now is just a lot of mono red decks, a lot of Euro decks, a lot of Dead Shadow, and this deck just kind of poopies all over them. So, good for them. That's what they deserve. Anyway, yeah, this deck's great. Definitely try it out. It's very cheap as well. Like, only the Force of Negations are expensive. The rest of this deck is, like, very cheap. So, definitely do that. Sideboard, I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah, the Blood Moon is so... Oh, I didn't say that in the intro. But there's also a Blood Moon in here because reasons. And, yeah. Yeah, so that's that. With that being said, as always, thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a safe day. Bye-bye.